public hearings, and so anyone from the public that would like to attend or to observe is able to do that. Last thing I need to do is read through our hearing script. This basically just covers the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll jump right into the case. This is the June 8th, 2022 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati. I'll preside over this hearing. The case before us is case number ZH20220080. Excuse me. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and offer refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing, unless a party has submitted evidence or testimony in the form of writing prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If there were anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant had presented its case. I'll mention now, we also have Jared Yagi here, who's a law intern who's going to be observing here today. In the event any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant shall have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument that was offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. So for our purposes here today, I'll allow the owner and the applicant to allow each of you to tell me about this project, any background, anything you think is important for me to know to make this decision. Of course, why you think I should grant the relief. And that can be one or both of you. I'm pretty liberal about how I allow folks to orient their presentations. So however you guys want to do it, it's fine with me. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. In the event of any technical difficulties or unforeseen circumstances with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with the hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay. Mr. Montgomery, how you doing?
It's not, I don't know why I can't get the camera to activate. I'll try to join by my cell phone.
Great. I'll give you just a minute to do that, and then we'll get started.
We can go ahead and if we want to start talking about it while I pull this up.
Sure. Who's going to be taking the lead on telling excuse me, tell me about this application? Will it be you or Mr. Zeminski?
I will.
Okay. I'd prefer to wait for your camera.
Okay.
If you'd like to go ahead and give the cell phone a try. I'll give you 1 minute.
Yep.
If I could just add my 2 cents here before Brandon gets into the full description.
Give me 1 second. Looks like he's connecting now. I need to swear both of you in. That's the last thing I need to do before we get started. Okay. Can you hear me, Brandon? All right, Mr. Zeminski, can you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. Why don't you go ahead and, can you hear us, Brandon?
Can I what?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk to Brandon. I can't tell if he can hear me or not. Brandon, if you could unmute, if you can hear us.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There you are.
Yep,
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. Mr. Zeminski, would you like to?
Yes. Well, I feel like this is just a pretty simple request. We have a swimming pool in our backyard. We have a concrete patio around it, and we're just trying to cover part of the patio, which is next to our detached garage. So we're requesting that we can put a rooftop over with open sides And just so we can have some lighting, some ceiling fans, and just put an outdoor living space out there with some couches and some furniture and a grill. Brandon can get into the exact detail and the structure and the drawings and all that, but I mean, this is all we're asking for.
Sure. So anything else you'd like to tell me about the project?
That's it. I mean, it's just an outdoor living space. It's going to be, roofed over, and any type of water runoff that may come off of the rooftop is going to run right into our backyard and already runs off of the patio into our backyard. So we're not impeding anyone else's property. All of the surrounding property is ours, and we're just trying to improve our outdoor spot.
That's the biggest thing is they actually own a little over an acre, but it's slated for Anderson Township. So the border, they own more of the property surrounding them, but in the city portion, it's not listed as that land connecting to them.
Gotcha. So a portion of the property that you own is in Anderson. A portion is in the city. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And the smaller portion is
In the city, unfortunately. So they have a whole nother acre of property that is connected, but the city limit line runs, on that backside of the garage.
got it.
There's actually two addresses. The 1286 Mayland address, where our home is, has a portion of that property is in Anderson Township, but it's a city address. There's a second portion of property that's Beacon Street that is Anderson Township that abuts our Mayland property, but we own that property too. And it's a heavily wooded, very, very treed in and honeysuckled, pretty dense area. But none of the water that would run off of this roof would run onto the Beacon property. It would all stay on the Mayland property, even though Mayland address and the frontage of my home is a city address. That back portion of our lot is Anderson Township, but it's all one address.
Gotcha. Oh, it's okay. So are the parcels consolidated?
No, they're just, how long have we lived here?
17.
We've lived here 17 years, and that's the way that it was when we bought it.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just the way the property lines go. Like I said, if we could consolidate them all, which we can't, they would have plenty of room that we wouldn't need a zoning variance for this. But it's just the way that it just so happens how the city line cuts through their property is really the only reason why, we have this issue.
Gotcha. Okay. And so let's see. So this isn't going to actually get any closer to the neighboring property line to the north. Is that right? It's going to be on the south side of that garage.
I don't know which. Let's see, west. The sun rises in the east.
The garage is.
Think of looking out there, east, west.
It's going to be.
It butts up to the north side of the garage, so it doesn't get any closer. It stays more on my property, and then it goes the other direction.
Gotcha. Okay. And so the justification, because you're requesting essentially, was it 1,300 square feet over the typical allowance for accessory structures, correct?
That is correct.
And the justification is that this additional parcel on the back that's in Anderson Township makes it more reasonable, makes the overall lot size more reasonable for an accessory structure. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And again, this is just a roof. There's no walls. What's going on underneath? Is there a kitchen? Is that right? A kitchen and a bar area?
They'll have a barbecue area, and then some seating.
lighting, ceiling fans, TVs.
Okay. And will this be the third accessory structure on the property? Are there already 2 existing accessory structures?
There is one accessory structure and we're attaching to it. So there's still only going to be one.
Gotcha. Okay. What is
There's
there
my
any-
house,
behind
there's
the
my
garage?
house, there's a detached garage, and this is going to attach to the detached garage. I don't know if you can see it on Google or not.
Yeah, I can. Let's see. Hold on, let me just make sure. I'm just trying to make sure I understand this. You guys see this?
Yep,
What's this?
So that is on the Anderson Township parcel property. That's just a shed for his lawnmower.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the property line runs along that that concrete
Yep.
where the garage is. And so he owns all that property to the back where that shed is. So, but for the city's sake, there's only one accessory structure.
Okay. Let's see. All right. I think that's all the questions that I have. Anything else you guys would like to tell me in closing or otherwise?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. All right. So I've had a chance to.
If you pull that image back up, I can show you exactly where it's going to go, unless you already know that from the drawing.
I think I know. Right here.
Yep.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just right. It's right where your arrow was. It's going to attach to that garage and then just come out. It'll be open on all 3 sides except for the garage wall that already exists.
Gotcha. I'm trying to. Will there be any adverse impacts at all for any of the neighboring property owners?
No.
No.
Okay.
I mean, that
They won't even be able to
area
see it or
where
anything.
Okay.
If anything, it's going to increase the value of the neighboring properties.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Give me 1 minute. So I've had a chance to review all the application materials on this, and based on that, based on the testimony here today, the understanding that there's this additional lot behind, I think that's what's sort of causing the hardship here.
Correct.
So I believe that this does qualify under the standards to be approved. I will need to formalize that decision in a written opinion. I've got a pretty significant backlog of cases right now. I think it's just this general time of year we get quite a few cases coming through. So I'm going to do everything I can to get this out to you within 2 weeks. As soon as I finish the decision in writing, I will send it to you, to everyone in the hearing here today. So I'll put it in a PDF. You guys will have it really just moments after it's complete. As soon as you have that, you can work with Doug or whoever is your zoning plans examiner on this one to approve the zoning.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Sure. Any questions about that or anything else?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
We're adjourned.
Thank you.